welcome to Lobuta project. And before we start, let me introduce you about our project part. First, who disabled people are. Second, some wonderful stories about disabled people. Third, some some challenges faced by the disabled people. And fourth, what we can do to help the disabled to integrate into the community. Okay, so what are we waiting for? Let's get started. Before we start, take a look at these pictures. And could anyone tell me who they are and what's the matter with them?
They are disabled people who has physical or mental impairment.
Okay, that's correct. Thank you. Okay, as she said, they are disabled people or people with disabilities or people in need.
So, people with a person who is considered to be disability if they have a physical or mental impairment. The impairment has adverse and societal and long-term effect on person's ability to carry out day-to-day activities. Disability can affect people in different ways. Some may be hidden, known as invisible disability. There are many types of disability. In my opinion, we can divide them into 4 types. Intellectual, physical, sensory, and mental unit.
Okay, thanks Vandu for clear explanation. Now, let's turn your attention to the next part and listen to some wonderful stories about disabled people.
It really doesn't matter who you are. Everyone has the ability to do something amazing, change the world, or reach the goal that they have set. The disabled are not exceptions. Many famous personalities who were either born with disabilities or they met with tragic incidents have made a place for themselves in the world. Their positive attitudes have served as an undying inspiration for all of us. So let me tell you a few stories. Louis Beethoven, he was regarded as one of the best composers in the history and was also included in the list of great people with disabilities. When he was only 26, he began losing his hearing. Despite this problem, he immersed in his work and created some of the music history. Helen Keller. She became sick at a young age and the illness took her sight and hearing. Thanks to Miss Anne Sullivan, the extraordinary educator, Helen graduated from the university in 1904. She soon became a famous author, public speaker, and activist for a wide range of social and political issues. Not only in the world, but also in Vietnam, there are many famous personalities with extraordinary. There are many famous extraordinary people, such as teacher Nguyễn Ngọc Ký, who wrote a story of his life with his true legs. When he was born, a fever disabled his arms. Unable to move his arms, he put his effort into forcing his foot to hold a pen, and he studied Vietnamese literature at university and became a teacher after graduating. Now he is old and has retired, yet his image remains a bright example for the next generations to learn from. Nguyễn Phương Anh was born with the Glasgow disease, although she knew that the even smallest impact can break her bones. She still raised her voice on the stage of Vietnam's Got Talent and made a great impression on all the audiences. Working as a friend to UNICEF Vietnam, she continues to deliver his message to help children with disabilities.
As you see, although they are disabled, they still manage to do magical and incredible things just like the non-disabled. But their lives aren't easy. Why? Because no matter how hard they try to prove themselves, they still have to face with many difficult and complicated problems that they can solve by themselves. In my opinion, the main problem is the society negative attitude toward the people with disabilities. Um, uh, It has led to the disabled to be seen as a burden or stigma, and it may make their parents depressed or feel ashamed about their child. In some cases, the parents force their disabled children not to go outside their house or not to have any relation with anything or anyone outside their house. And moreover, families that have disabled people are considered to be unfortunate. They may suffer from many bad words, cruel environment, discrimination, unfairness from other people. And uh, so, the negative attitude of the society not only make the life of the disabled miserable, but also makes the disabled depressed, and they feel like they don't deserve to live. The next problem I want to talk about is the low representation or low social status. The disabled aren't able to promote their capabilities and have no place in fields like government jobs, politics, economy, or either. It is thought that the disabled have no influence in the society. And another serious problem is the lack of access to employment, education, and healthcare. Disabled people are large minority groups starved of services and mostly ignored by the society. They live in isolation, segregation, poverty, charity, and even pity. Due to discrimination, they don't go to the public places and not free to have those rights which the non-disabled person get. And they are deprived of education, employment, and healthcare. They continue to face with barriers that prevent them from accessing to the opportunities and participating fully in all aspects of life.
So the life of people with disability are still difficult. They need our help. Instead of leaving them alone with abundance of problems we were mentioned, we should give them what they deserve to have, like sympathy or fair treatment. Nowadays, helping people to interpret the community is a way hot topic that contracts the attention of society. This requires the support of everyone, not just an individual.
So what can we do to help disabled people to integrate into the community? Recently, the government had a number of policies to support people with disabilities, such as develop and provide health services, increase social welfare benefits, and other supplementary welfare payments. Open the exclusive vocational training based on the extent and categories of disabilities. And how about us as a resident? What can we do to help people with disabilities? Here are some suggestions that can help them both physically and mentally. First, helping them physically, donate medical and daily necessities, helping the disabled to find suitable jobs, taking part in charity organization to help disabled. Next is helping them mentally, pay them a visit, talking friendly to the disabled to make them feel less shy and live more positively. Organizing the entertaining activities like singing competition, sport competition, respect and never consider them as a society burden. Give them praises that they deserve to have. As a student, we have an independent finance, yes, so all things have mentioned may be impossible to do. But don't worry, here are some suggestions in helping the disabled are suitable for students. First is building up appropriate communication skills. Learn special type of communication to communicate, communicate effectively. Use right and respectful word to them when you talk to them. Lend a sympathetic ear if they need. Second is raising awareness for everyone in helping the disabled. Use social media like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram to spread awareness to people. Encourage people to take part in volunteer activities, participating in local volunteer activities, like sign up to volunteer activity in local school. Donate school supply or clothing for children with disabilities. Volunteer to train the service dog. In conclusion, we want to say that no matter who you are, disabled or non-disabled, disabled are people too. We are a huge family, so let's share your heart to build a life without barriers. That's the message we want to say, we want to convey to you. Thanks for listening.
And now, do you want to play a game? Yeah. Okay, let's have a game. Question number 1. How many common types of disabilities we have mentioned? Ali?
I should see.
No problem. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Listen to oral history, to less. A. Nguyễn Ngọc Kỷ. B. Helen Keller. C. Nguyễn Phương Anh. D. Stephen Hawking.
Phương Anh. Is that correct answer?
Question 3. What is the main challenge faced by disabled people? A. The low social status. B. The society attitudes toward disabled people. C. The lack of access to employment, education, and healthcare. D. All are correct.
Bao Châu. That's correct.
Last question. As we mentioned, what can students do to help the disabled? A. Build up appropriate communication skills. B. Take part in local volunteer activities. C. Raise awareness for everyone in helping the disabled. D. All are correct.
Oh,
Another one, we want to say thanks for your listening again.